Behind the scenes of Chapter 2. If you ever wonder what a writer is thinking about when they're writing their book, I wondered those things. And now here I am writing my own books, and I'll tell you, Chapter 2. Chapter 2 feels like it just happened yesterday. And it's been a little over, oh my gosh, it's been almost 2 years since this chapter happened. It's been almost 2 years since this chapter happened, and this book is still not published. Those are the thoughts I'm having this morning. 10:58 a.m. Friday. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm thinking that I need to get this book out sooner than later. But at least I'm making progress, and I am making progress. Other thoughts. I've been getting good feedback so far. I released Chapter 1 via YouTube last week to a select few people. And the comments and the feedback has been really positive. What do I mean by positive? I mean that one gentleman wrote me and he was like, that reminds me of a breakup that I had. He was like, I'm living it, I'm feeling it. Somebody else said that my darkest writing is my most gripping writing. So on that note, this is Chapter 2 of How to Make $10 Million with a Rubber Chicken. It's called The Morning After Pill. I like to start my chapters with quotes from other writers and other books that I find or found to be poignant. Doctoring her seemed to her as absurd as putting together the pieces of a broken vase. Her heart was broken. Why would they try to cure her with pills and powders? Leo Tolstoy, Anna Karenina. I'm not very good with saying people's names. So that quote obviously was not by me. But this is my story. The morning bleeds on me with sunshine. I retreat like a singed vampire to the dark, pale and hungry. I hear him moving, a floor above me, with me levels below hell. I lay there looking up at the popcorn ceiling, remembering a time I took a trip on acid, until I'm staring at a sky full of maggots crawling all over themselves. The day is so rotten I feel sick. I can feel those ugly bugs crawling around in my guts, and I'm sure I'm going to hurl. I grit my teeth, swallow the bile down, pull the covers back over my head, and quit. I am done with this day before it's even started. I don't move again until the sound of him becomes a plangent passing. But before that, I listen to his life begin without me. He opens the backsliding door to free the dog, which is whining like it was beaten by the night before. Paws scratch for traction on linoleum as the dog slides urgently into the kitchen, whimpering and huffing about how it hates being put out on the deck to sleep. "Hey there, buddy." Justin sounds chipper as he greets his furry friend. "It's good to see you, old man." Woof! The dog is still complaining as Justin opens the front door to let him back outside to pee on the lawn, or rather the dirt that could be grass, if we ever bothered to plant any. Not long after, the door squeaks back open, then slams shut. The dog is back inside. Justin is thumping his way to the kitchen to make coffee. My dog hears the sound coming from above and jumps down from the bed to join them upstairs. She scratches at the door for me to let her out, but I refuse to move. She's not a part of that pack anymore. I glare at her with crimson, bloodshot eyes from a small hole I've made under my covers, feeling mad that she doesn't know her place. She doesn't belong with them. She's mine. I'm taking her with me when I go. When I go. Where am I going to go? How am I going to go? Dread spreads like gangrene through my soul, slow and toxic. Justin's choice to break up with me means more than the end of our romance. It means he's going to want me out of his house. His house. None of this is mine. What do I even have left? I don't realize I am poor until I'm forced to think about how little I own. I have a mattress on a box spring frame, enough furniture to decorate my photography studio, which is, of course, also located in his house. I have a $9,000 camera, my ability to run my business, and I have talent. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful people with talent. The squeal of faucets being turned tells me Justin has finished his morning coffee and dose of the local news. He's standing in the shower now. I'm there with him in my mind. His eyes are closed by water which is rushing past his silvery slate hair but trickling down elsewhere. Elsewhere is hot, lazy rivers on flesh. I feel a pang of yearning and lust as I spy on him with my imagination, which remembers what is real. My mouth wants to be on his mouth, and then linger down those trickling rivers of heat. Justin Hayward is hard, lean, and attractive. He is also unassuming and quiet, which only adds to my desire. I want him, even now. It's over, Amber. You need to accept it. We aren't together anymore. Salty tears fall as muddy water from my nose as I'm hit in the ribs with a crowbar, or experience a pain similar to. I'm crippled with agony and need. I need things to be different, but they aren't. This can't be happening, please God. I need more time. It is happening, though. Time is not something I have. My ending arrived like a speeding car slamming into the back of a semi-truck. The impact is so severe it's a wonder there's anything left to see. There are no skid marks, no signs of stopping, almost no proof that the incident even happened. Then I spot bits of bone with clumps of matted blonde hair. There's blood dripping from the bumper of that big rig. That is when I know something terrible just took place. Something scary and sinister. Something that kills. I'm cold as I lay there staring up at that wreck. My teeth are chattering like bones tap dancing. My eyes are pulled open with lids cut off by scissors. I don't want to look, but I have no choice. There's a body under there. It's crushed inside that tin can. The house has gone hollow. I listen for Justin, but the sound of him has faded. I think he may have left for work, but I know I did not hear his Jeep drive away. Still, there's not enough reverberation for him to be present. The empty absence of his void is tangible. I look for him with my ears until he becomes everything I hear in silence. He is not here, but he is everywhere. The bedroom door remains closed as I try to decide whether or not I can still move with everything inside of me broken. I decide I can't, but I'm full of piss, without a catheter to drain me. I need to pee, and as low as I am, it would be lower still to lay in my own soil. I rise like a corpse from a grave, slowly, moving back towards life. My dog bolts from the room just as soon as there is an opportunity, but it takes a while. I'm walking like my knees are crushed. Everything hurts. The pain has me buckling on bloody stumps, amputated of everything but nerve endings. I'm nearly doubled over and falling down by the time I make it to the door, which I hold on to, like it's the last stand at the Alamo. I've been shot through the chest. There is a hole in the center where my heart used to be. White knuckles grip the door frame. My face is flushed, like I've been running from something mean, something that bites. Beads of sweat bubble up on my forehead before bursting like blisters that ooze instead of drip. I'm a festering wound, open, bleeding, raw. A chunk of meat thrown in with the sharks and then eaten alive. I'm not going to make it. The door falls open as if it was never latched as I stepped over the threshold of my room and into his house. Trespassing. I don't belong here anymore. The truth echoes back at me through my mouth until I'm gagging again. Sick. I'm going to be sick. I hold the vomit in my throat along with the breath I refuse to let go of. It's not long until I'm choking on both, heaving forward. I listen for my dog as I stand at the bottom of the stairs looking up, lurking. I'm a creature, chained to shadows, burned by the light that creates them. I wait there then, in the dark below, with my ears turned and pointed. My dog is not there. Neither is he. The whole box is empty, like the plane and the Langoliers. They've disappeared. Gone so suddenly it must be gruesome. Where did my dog go? Why didn't I hear his Jeep leave? I'm afraid now, in ways I haven't been before. What if he really is gone forever? The question hangs there in the rafters above, a noose to strangle myself with. I know better than to stick my head through that twine, but I feel like I need to. I need to find out what happened to Justin. The urgency to know goads me until I forget about all else, including my broken heart and mangled spirit. There is no longer any pain when I step, no agony. I am healed just as fast as I was injured. Panic has surely changed things. I take the steps, 2 at a time, and it is a healthy flight. If I'm winded at the top, I don't notice. All I can think about is Justin. Where did he go? What do I have left of him? His watch is not waiting for me in a pile on the living room floor, and neither are his metal fillings. Justin didn't vanish like the passengers on the plane of the Langoliers. A palpable relief sweeps through me, but it is temporary. The room is empty and normal, with nothing out of the ordinary except my fear. The terror hangs on with talons. The grim quiet is unsettling proof. Something is horribly wrong. I make my way to the front window and pull open the curtains. What I see next has me reeling. His Jeep is still in the driveway. He should be home. I begin to tremble as I move through the remaining rooms of the first floor. Each one of them is empty and normal, with nothing out of the ordinary except now my fear has mutated. A malignant cancer with cells growing uncontrollably. I am sure now that he didn't simply just leave for work. I would have heard him leave. I press on to find him, even though I am certain the discovery will be morbid. I check the bathroom. I check our bedroom. It's his bedroom now. I open the door to every closet. I look under every bed. There is nothing except the mute muzzle of the missing. I am alone when I shouldn't be. The kitchen is the last room I check. It is there I spot him through the window in front of the sink. He is outside, sitting sideways on the picnic table that resides on the back deck, the same deck we torture our other dog with at night, his dog, the old dog that shits and pisses everywhere. Both dogs are sitting with him, mine being a traitor. The sight of him is a shock I cannot undo, but it's proof he's still living and not a science fiction casualty. Justin is not the victim of anything but bliss. He's looking down at his cell phone. It is lit up like his face, which is beaming with the light, radiant with joy. His thumbs are moving rapidly, texting. Who is he texting? He takes a sip of his coffee. He's laughing. He's drinking from a mug he brought me home as a souvenir this past summer. California Redwoods is stamped on the front of it. He knew all too well how badly I had wanted to go on that trip. I had implored him to include me, telling him about a book my father had given to me when I was a little girl, a book with pictures of trees so big you can drive your car through them, trees I've wanted to see my whole entire life. I wept as I pleaded for him not to go without me. Then I sobbed as he drove away with his son. I went dry when he returned home with that cup. Any tears that might have fallen evaporated as I was incinerated by his callousness. The iconic sequoia tunnel tree was toppled by a California storm a month after the vacation Justin would not allow me to enjoy with him and his son. I cried on that day, the day it was too late, the day I realized there would be no tomorrow. It didn't matter that there was still an entire forest to explore, other big trees. The tunnel tree had weathered tempests for more than 100 years before it fell, soon after Justin brought that coffee cup home to me. I suppose I should have known I would be next. I watch him from the window as I retreat back to the gloom of my room below the stairs. He is wearing a giddy grin, which has not stopped the entire time he's been texting. Who? Who is he texting? The question nags, but I know. There's someone else. He used to smile at me the same way, back when he was in love with me. Chapter 3, The Wrong Way to Eat Jesus. Well, boy, howdy, that's the end of that chapter. It's interesting reading that chapter and reliving it, and then also wondering, I was like, is it... Anyway, just wondering what people will think as they read and whether or not they're able to follow the story the way that I'm telling it, and reliving Justin being in love with Jenny. Justin and Jenny. It's interesting because a lot has happened since this chapter. A lot, because this chapter was 2 years ago. But I'm not going to tell you what's happening now because you'll know if you keep following and you keep reading. So on that happy note, this was the end of chapter 2. If you liked listening to this YouTube chapter and you enjoy it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then also feel free to share this video with your friends or anybody you think might, and who you might think would enjoy this book. This book is for anybody that's trapped financially. This is a book that's for anybody that's ever tried to recover from a broken heart, and for anybody that's ever hit rock bottom. With that being said, thank you so much for listening. May your day be filled with smiles. The life you live is a choice. This was Amber Garibay, live.